Hey, what's up, everyone? Sinister here giving you another Gamerversary video. And one of the popular video games of all time, Double Dragon, because this game revolutionized, the beat 'em up genre. So, go ahead and break it down to you and, see why it's one of my favorites. So, anyways, like Double Dragon started arcade. I had a chance to play this, like, thanks to my cousin. I rode with her, like, to over to Walmart. I saw the arcade for the first time after seeing ads of it in gaming magazines, things like that. So yeah, I started playing. I was like, wow, man, this is really cool. I mean, seeing beating up a bunch of bad guys, like knee bashing, jump kicking, doing flying kicks, things like that. So I mean, yeah, man, it's you gotta credit to where it's due to Yoshihisa Kishimoto, if I said his name right. He's the man behind it, working with Technos Japan, which is now owned by Arc System Works. He made this all possible. And plus, there's a lot of references like to popular meeting, a certain martial arts lesson as a sub. That's discuss more of that in a bit. And of course, going to discuss its popularity with media and other products, things like that. So, going to start off with the main protagonists themselves, Billy and Jimmy Lee. And as I mentioned earlier about the references, the Lee brother, they took their name from Bruce Lee himself. Born, the dragon. He was born the year of the dragon. Even though they're twin brothers, they fight the same, but they got different looks. But, like their denim outfits, they're definitely the same design, but different colors. Billy always sports in blue, Jimmy's always sporting red. Like in the cover art and the game itself, Billy, sporting blonde hair, but usually later games, he usually has either black hair or brown hair. As far as brother Jimmy, yeah, it's like brown hair in the game. He has the opposite color of his brother. But in the later games, he's always sporting blonde hair, just like I said, just to tell them apart. Things like that. Like I said, all in all, it all depends on the artwork and the game sprite itself. I mean, like I said, they both do the same thing. Punch, kick, flying kick, knee bash, you name it. Pick up weapons and use against the bad guys. Everything. So, no, that's for the plot. It's set in New York during the apocalypse. Like I said, they're both chilling in the garage. Like, of course, Marion's chilling outside, like waiting on Billy. I was like, what the heck are you doing in there? But here come the Black Warriors. And they'll come up to her, punch her in the stomach, and kidnap her. So, it sets everything in motion. So the garage door opens, you see Billy coming out, and it's like, all right, it's ready to tear some Black Warrior ass. Things like that. So, one of the bad guys you run into is named Roper, and they have his co named Williams. So, as I mentioned, about the references, they're all tied to Bruce Lee because these guys, the names appear from Enter the Dragon. They're both played by John Saxon and Jim Kelly, respectively. And you have a woman named Linda. She goes around carrying a whip, has blonde hair. So you could say she's basically named after Bruce Lee's widow, Linda Lee Cadwell. And trust me, she's the only female on there. But you definitely don't want her like whipping you, hitting you with that whip. You want to take her out and use her weapon against you, and things like that. And then you got that big ox of Bobo. I mean, yeah, because first time you see him, you crash right through the wall. I mean, he has heck of a reach. I mean, he will punch you, kick you, and toss you around like in the wrestling ring. Because trust me, man, you will lose your lives to this guy if you don't know what. You gotta be careful. Things like that. So, yeah. But thanks to MAME, I was able to play this game again from its entirety. From beginning to end. Made my way all the way to Machine Gun Willie. And trust me, this dude is tough. I mean, because he has like his boys around you, surrounding you, just to slow you down. And he will mow you down with that machine gun. But after I took him out, all his boys left. I mean, they all skedaddled. And then, of course, you save Marion, things like that, which is really cool. However, if you're playing in co-op, whoever you're playing, it's like both of you got to fight each other to win Marion's heart. But a lot of y'all know that, so I'm not going to discuss that any further. So. Yeah, well, as far as the gameplay itself, there's some pros and cons. I'm definitely gonna go over the bad first. The first thing is the platforming. It's garbage. I mean, especially you try to get to the bridge and try to make that jump, but a lot of times you're gonna end up in the water and like frustrating you. It's like, but after overcoming that hurdle, then of course there's towards the end of the final level. Once you get to the wall, these walls sitting there, the bricks sit there, pop out, hit you in the face, knocking you back. losing your lives, you definitely has up for the frustration. Then you have these statues. They got these spears and sitting there trying to impale you and stuff like that. And then top of that, you got bad guys hiding behind the wall. So I mean, yeah, because once you overcome that hazard, then you get to Willie himself and all his boys. So basically, you find the same clones of the same characters, like from beginning to end. All the clones of Bobo, like even the bosses of the first level and the later levels, like I said, they're all look the same. They all fight the same. I mean, like I said, due to limitations at the time, that's what they had to use with. So, oh yeah, as far as like one of the positives, like I mean, I just like the genre, like the fighting, like the punch, the kicks, just to grab your enemies and things like that. Oh, as I forgot earlier about another the slowdown. Oh, trust me, there's certain areas like a bunch of bad guys come on screen at the same time. It definitely, chugs. And you can definitely tell the difference. But I mean, as far as the overall experience, I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, of course, I played like a couple of ports of it. Like the Commodore and the NES. I played the Commodore, loved it, beat it. On the NES, wasn't feeling it so much. I mean, you got to take turns playing. If you're going to do the two-player things like that. But as far as like its popularity, like due to the success of the first game, it spawned like movies, merchandise, even an animated series, things like that. But and of course later on you have like the sequels, like the arcade sequels 2 and 3. Three's trash. Then on the NES, you have two more sequels on the NES. Again, the third one's trash, but not as bad as the arcade version, things like that. But anyways, that concludes this video. I definitely want to hear what you think. You know the business. Drop your comments down below and leave a like. This is Sinister. Be easy.